Hi, am I audible?
Yeah, Divya.
Okay. So, hi, Shravan. Are you attending? Is this your first class?
Yes, Divya.
Okay. Okay, fine. So, actually, yesterday we started our demo classes. This is our second demo. Okay. So, whatever I taught yesterday, once again, I'll try to give you, I'll like explain you about it. But before that, first let me introduce about myself. I'm Divya. I'm having about 8+ years of experience into data analytics.
Okay.
I have teaching experience in all the data science subjects like SQL, Tableau, Power BI, Python, statistics, and machine learning. With DurgaSoft, currently, I'm teaching MySQL and Tableau. Okay. So, as I said, yesterday we started our demo classes. I gave one introduction class yesterday about, I explained about introduction to database and SQL, which again, of course, I'll repeat it today. And but before starting, I wanted to know, about you a little bit. Like, are you a fresher or are you currently working? Do you have prior knowledge on SQL?
Yeah, I'm currently working in testing side, so
Okay,
I know a little bit about SQL, but not on hands-on,
okay,
like
okay.
theoretical part.
I got it, Sean. Thank you. All right. So, as you know, totally this MySQL, duration is of 35 days. Okay, 35 sessions. I'll take classes from Monday to Friday. So 35 sessions will be required to finish our course. And, maybe till the end of this class, I'll show you the course content which we will cover in our course. Okay. So,
Okay, Divya. So it's basically Monday to Friday, right?
yeah, Monday to Friday.
And the class timing would be 6 to 7.
Yeah, but is that okay for you if the class timing will be from 7 to 8 p.m.?
Previously, your batch was at 7 o'clock.
Yes, actually. Is that timing okay for you?
Yeah, but
I mean,
it would be from starting.
Yeah, of course. That is what I'm saying. Last week, we started a new batch at 7 o'clock. We got some students there. And actually, this is a kind of add on batch. Okay. I'm not taking currently classes for them. I taught only two topics for them. So once I finish explaining that two topics for you, basically, two batches will be merged and the timing will be from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST.
Yeah, it's fine, Divya, as of now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So, anyways, as I said, only two topics are covered for them. For you also, I'll cover all those two topics. No worries, okay?
Okay. And in that batch, like how
Mhm.
many students will be there?
Currently, we have two students.
Okay, fine, no problem. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Okay. And it would be 35 days, right?
yeah, 35 sessions actually. As I said, Monday to Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So almost 7 weeks.
correct.
Okay.
All right. So, yesterday, I explained about database and SQL, but which I'll repeat it once again, okay? So, basically, this is a MySQL. As we know, we are learning MySQL here. Okay. So, first of all, what is database in the sense? Nowadays, we are generating lots and lots of data, right? We like from few years, of course, from last many years, we are generating the data, but especially from last few years, maybe from the COVID pandemic time, or else once when the demonetization happened. What just happened? We all started using online applications a lot, right? We started doing online shopping, we started using we started watching movies in OTT platforms. Like that, we are depending more on the internet, or we are depending more on the applications or smartphones, I can say, especially from last few years. So whatever we do today by using our smartphone, whatever application we use, whatever website we browse, that is nothing but by default we are generating some data, right? Because let's take an example of Amazon. What will happen if we buy any product from Amazon? Basically, all the details will be saved in the Amazon database. They will have their own database where they will store the all the details of the, orders, I can say. Suppose they will store some order details like some order ID, okay, product details like the product name, maybe price of the product, maybe supplier details, maybe customer details, delivery details, like this transactional details. Everything will be stored in their database, so that going forward they can analyze the data and they can analyze their business, right? Whether they are getting profits or losses, like that they can analyze the data and then they can take their business decisions actually. That is what will happen. That is what happening in every business, right? Basically what I'm
Yes.
trying to say is whatever we are doing today, we are generating the data, right? As we are generating, if I'm talking about Amazon only, in Amazon, daily basis, how many products they will sell, right? Definitely they are generating lots and
More.
lots of data.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah. So as we are generating this much of data, definitely there should be some good systems where we can maintain the data, where we can store the data, right? That's where databases came into existence. Database is nothing but, it's a collection of data where we can store the data collectively in one place, and where we can maintain the data. Okay. And hi, Satish. I think you attended yesterday, right? Or is this your first class?
Yeah, yesterday I attended, madam.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. That is what I'm thinking. So just give me 5 to 10 minutes. I'll just repeat whatever I taught yesterday. We got one more student today. Okay. I'll just give a quick glance on the topics which we covered yesterday, and then we'll continue with the today's topics. Okay. All right. So database is nothing but it's a collection of data. Collectively, we will store all the data inside. We can store all the data inside database, and we can maintain data from there. Okay. So I can say database is nothing but it's a collection of data. Then what is SQL in the sense? SQL, the full form of SQL is, as we know, structured query language. Basically, what is SQL in the sense? It is a language which is used to communicate with the database. We just now understood that we are storing data inside database, right? If suppose I wanted to see any kind of data, I wanted to fetch any kind of data, definitely I need to communicate with the database. I need to tell database that what I want. I need to tell database that I wanted to see so and so data, correct? So in order to communicate with the database, definitely we will use a medium. We will use a language here called as SQL. It is a language which is used to communicate with the database basically. Okay. If you, I mean, as you're already working, maybe whatever I'm teaching you can understand, Shravan, but still if you get some time, maybe you can watch yesterday's demo video also, where I gave a small example about this SQL definition, if it is needed for you, of course. As you attended the session, you will get a mail from our admin team in which they will provide yesterday's demo video as well. Just watch first 10 minutes, okay, not the entire 1 hour session. Remaining concepts I'll cover now, but maybe first 10 minutes, maybe I explained a little bit elaborately about the, importance of data. And just to explain this definition, I took one example. Okay, if you get some time, if it is needed, just watch that video.
Sure, Divya. I'll do that.
Perfect. So yeah, that is about SQL. Basically, to communicate with the database, we will use a language called as SQL. Okay, and SQL is a universal declared language. All the concepts, whatever we have here, the concepts belongs to SQL only. Okay, but we understood that we are going to learn MySQL. Okay, what is SQL? We just now understood. Then what is MySQL in the sense? Obviously, all the concepts, whatever we have, the concepts belongs to SQL only. But to use those concepts, to use SQL, we have different databases in the market, like MySQL, Oracle SQL, SQL Server, PostgreSQL, like that. We have so many tools in the market, so many databases in the market. Okay, just a second.
Ma'am, before that, like I have a small
Yes, please.
confusion regarding the Oracle and MySQL. Like both are
Yes.
databases, and but these two are different from different organizations.
Yeah, that is what. To explain that a little bit, clearly, I just opened a file here.
Okay.
See, we have, let me tell you this point. I wrote here, but let me write it one thing. See, basically, we have two types. One is SQL and the another one is NoSQL. Okay. So under SQL, we are now currently learning about SQL. Okay, SQL is something which basically it is a language which is used to communicate with the databases, right? So under SQL, we have so many tools or so many databases in the market, like Oracle SQL, MySQL, SQL Server, PostgreSQL, like that. We have so many. Basically, what is this in the sense? These are we have so many companies in the market, right?
Yes.
These are some of the tools belongs to their company. For example, Oracle SQL and MySQL belongs to Oracle company. SQL Server belongs to Microsoft company. Like that, we have different companies in the market, and these are different tools from different companies. Like as an example, the usage of Android phone will be same. That is an OS, of course, but to use that Android OS, we have different company phones, right? We have OnePlus, we have Samsung, like that. We have different mobiles. Anyways, the usage is same, but it just the it's about a different company, right? In the same way, whatever databases comes under SQL, the concepts will be same, syntaxes will be same. These are just different tools. The user interface will be little bit different, but the syntaxes also will be same. Don't think that if we are learning MySQL here, and if when I mean if you are working in any company and their database is of SQL Server, don't think that is a different one. Whatever you're learning here in MySQL, the same concepts, same syntaxes, you can even use in SQL Server also. There is no difference. Okay, everything is same. It's just about different tools. It's just about maybe a little bit difference will be there in the user interface, but the concepts will be same. Syntaxes will be same. All the databases which comes under SQL, you can use. All are same. If you are learning any one database, that is enough. But NoSQL is again a different thing. And the tool comes under NoSQL is MongoDB. This is again different. It's not like if we are learning MySQL, we cannot use MongoDB. That is a completely a different thing. So what are the databases coming under SQL? All are same. Okay. And what is the difference between SQL and NoSQL is, as we know, we will create a database. Basically, database is a place where we will store all the data. Just now we understood. So how we will store data inside database, in the sense, inside a database, we will create tables, and inside tables, we will store the data. Okay. Tables is always, it's a collection of rows and columns. Okay. We will store the data in the form of rows and columns. So here I just wrote one example. If I wanted to store some employees data, as this is an Excel file, I just wrote like this. Okay, employees is my table name, and I store data like this: employee ID, employee name, salary, date of joining. Okay, basically vertically whatever we are having, that is called as columns. Just a second, it is loading. So vertical thing is called as columns. That means in this table, in employees table, I'm having 4 columns. Employee ID is 1 column, employee name is 1 column, salary is 1 column, date of joining is 1 column. And horizontal thing is called as rows. That is, in this table, I'm having 2 rows. This is the first row of data. This is second row of data, like that. So always tables will be in the collection of rows and columns. It is a combination of rows and columns. Okay. This horizontally, whatever we are writing, that is nothing but the data, whatever we are inserting, we will insert it inside rows. Okay. And these are columns. Vertically, whatever we are having, these are columns. Employee ID is 1 column, employee name is 1 column, like that. And here employees is our table name. Okay. So we have something called as RDBMS. That is nothing but Relational Database Management System. Okay. RDBMS, the full form of RDBMS is Relational Database Management System. So what is this RDBMS in the sense? SQL always follows RDBMS technique. Okay. SQL always follows RDBMS technique. Then what is this RDBMS in the sense? Just now we understood that how we will store the data. Inside database, we will create tables, and inside tables, we will store the data, right? Basically, we will store the data inside tables. So we will create so many tables in each database. According to our domain, according to our requirement, we will store the data in different tables. Okay. If all our tables are related to each other, then we will say that database is following RDBMS technique. RDBMS is nothing but the full form is Relational Database Management System. This is nothing but here all the tables should be related to each other. We should create a relationship between the tables here in a database. Basically in database, suppose let's take an example. In one database I'm having 6 tables. Definitely I need to create a relationship between the 6 tables. If we are creating relationship, if there is a relationship between the tables in any database, we can say that database is following RDBMS technique, and SQL always follow RDBMS technique. Okay, that means inside SQL, whatever databases we are creating, inside that database, every time definitely, our tables should be related to each other. We should create a relationship between the tables. How we will create the relationship between the tables in the sense by using a concept called as foreign key, which we will learn going forward. Okay, we have a concept called as foreign key, by using which we'll create a relationship between the tables, which we will learn going forward in integrity constraints concept. Okay.
Divya, not only foreign key, like there will be primary key, like they will be using.
Yes, correct. Primary key usage is a little bit different. By using foreign key, we will actually create the relationship between the tables. Okay, all those keys comes under integrity constraints concept, which we will learn going forward. Okay.
Okay, Divya.
Perfect. So I hope whatever I explained till now, it is clear, right? We understood about what is database. We understood about what is SQL. Then what are the different databases available or tools available in the market, and what is RDBMS? We understood, correct?
Yeah, Divya.
Perfect. Now this is the MySQL workbench. Okay, once we are done with demo classes, I'll show you the installation process of MySQL. But for now, once we open, you can able to see MySQL workbench like this. Okay, so this is the editor page where we will write all the queries. So basically to open this editor page, we need to open an SQL file. Okay, how to open this SQL file? In the sense, we have two options. First of all, like any another tools, like, same like in Excel file or Word document, just like Excel file or any Excel file or Word document, here also we have menu bar, and this is the toolbar. Okay, so to open a new file, new SQL file, we have two options. Either you need to click on this file option. Inside file option, you need to click on new query tab. Okay, in file, new query tab. If I'm just clicking on this, I can able to open one more new SQL file, empty SQL file, where I can write all the queries. Or else even we have a shortcut here, that is in the toolbar first icon, this one. This is a shortcut to open a new file. Okay, even we can just click on that, a new file will be opened like this. Okay, so in you can see something called as schemas here, and below schemas, whatever you can able to see here, this is the list of databases available in my system. Okay, by default, whenever you install the software, you can able to see only one database, that is sys database. This is the by default database. Remaining databases, as I created, I'm having this many databases in my system. Okay, so by default we will have only sys database, and then whatever database you will create, you can able to see that database name in this list below schemas. Okay, so under each database we have 4 sections basically. Okay, that is tables. You can see here. This is one database. These are all the different databases I'm having. So SQL6 is the database which we created yesterday, right? We can just expand it. So under every database, we will have 4 sections. That is tables, views, stored procedures, functions, everything we will cover. For now, we are concentrating on tables, but we will going forward, we will learn about views, stored procedures as well. Okay, so yeah, and this is about this thing. Okay, the list of databases you can find here, and at the bottom this is information section actually. Okay, all the information about this databases or the tables. For example, I'll show you. I'm using SQL 7. I'm expanding this. This is a database. In this I already created some tables. I'm expanding tables here, and I'm having 2 tables. One table name is EMP, another table name is employees. If I'm just selecting employees here, in the information section at the bottom, I can able to get the information about this employees table. You can see it is showing me table name is employees and columns. I'm having some 5 columns here: employee ID, employee name, salary, date of joining, and bonus. And these are all the data types for each and every columns here. What are data types we'll discuss just now. But basically, this is the information section. Whenever we select any table, the information regarding the table, you can find it here in the information section. Okay, so as we discussed, this is the editor page where we will write all the queries. Inside this also we have some options here, right? So basically, after writing anything, if you wanted to save this file, you need to click on the save option, save button. You need to click on it. You can just save this in your system. And if you wanted to open any already saved files, you need to click on this folder icon. Okay, like this, you can click on this folder icon and you can select whatever you wanted to see. Okay, you can click on open and you can able to see. I can just open the already saved file by just using this folder option. Okay, so this is to open a folder, open a file. This is to save the file, and the third icon is an execute button. Okay, so after writing every query, to see the outputs we will execute, right? So this is the execute button. Okay, and next this is the output section. Whatever output we will get after executing every query, whatever output we will get, you can able to see that outputs here in the output section. Okay, for now these options are enough. Going forward, we will see little bit other options about query, database. Some more options we will learn going forward. For now these are enough. Okay, so this is about the user interface of MySQL. Okay, and now we are done with this comments. We have something called as comments in SQL. Like in every programming language, we have comments, right? In Java, in Python. Likewise, in SQL also we have comments. Comments is nothing but if you don't want to execute anything, you can keep it inside comments. Okay, we have basically 2 types of comments. One is single line comment and the other one is multi-line comment. In single lines, if you wanted to keep it as a comments, we can use the symbols. If you observe previously, before writing this line, I used a symbol, this one, right? Hyphen. This is nothing but a comment. Okay, whatever I write inside a comment, this is non-executable because this is not a query. This is a kind of theory notes, right? As a theory part, as a notes, I wrote it here. I wrote it here. So that is the reason I kept it inside comments because I don't want to execute this. Okay, so single line comments will be indicated by either this symbol or else hash, one hash, single hash. Okay, like this. And multi-line comments, multiple lines as a paragraph or as a multiple lines. If you wanted to put it inside comments, then you will use this multi-line comment. And the symbols to indicate multi-line comment is this one, hash and star. This is the start of the comment. In between, whatever you wanted to write, you can write. And this is the end of the comment, star and hash. Okay, start of the comment, end of the comment. So this is multi-line comment. This is single line comment. Comment is nothing but if you don't want to execute anything. Okay. Sometimes definitely only we alone won't work in any database, right? Any project, right? Definitely multiple people will work. Maybe one project will go for long, like 5 years, 6 years. Maybe I work for only 2 years and then maybe I'll shift my job. Then someone else will come and they will take over the project, right? So definitely while writing, basically while writing some codes, what we will do to make another person, if anyone if anyone newly seeing that code, he should understand what we wrote, right? So like that we will, if you wanted to write anything as notes, or if you wanted to give any little bit description about whatever you are writing, you can just write it inside comments. Or else while if it is syntaxes only, you already wrote one syntax and then you realize that there is a little bit mistake in that syntax and you don't want to execute it, then simply you can keep comments before it. Okay, like that. Basically the thing is that whatever we write inside comments, that's non-executable here. Okay. And next point, MySQL is case insensitive. This is case insensitive, that is you can use uppercase or lowercase, no problem, right? I hope it is clear.
Yeah, Divya.
Perfect. Next, we have something called as syntax. In SQL, we will have something called as syntaxes. For everything, syntax is nothing but you can consider it as a rule or it as a formula. For everything, whatever we do here, we will have syntaxes. We need to follow that. Okay. So first, let's create our first database. Yesterday, we created one database. Okay. Is this the one? Okay, this is not the yesterday's file. This one. Okay, I'm sorry. Just a second. Let me close this files. Just give me a moment. This is the one which we used yesterday, right? So, right. We created a database yesterday. We gave the database name as SQL6, right? Just let me create it once again so that I'm just dropping this, removing this for now, so that I can recreate it with the same name. Usually why I gave 6 in the sense, this is just 6 p.m. batch, right? That is the reason I just gave like SQL6. So just let's use the same name. That is the reason I deleted whatever we created yesterday. Okay, so let's create our first database once again. So as I said, for everything we need to follow syntaxes here, right? So for creating database also we need to follow syntax, and the syntax to create database is create database name. Okay, so this is the syntax. That is what I wrote. Create database. I gave database name as SQL6. Okay. So we need to just select this. This is the execute button. That is third icon. I'm just executing it here. You can see, right? This is the output section. If it is executed successfully, you can able to see like this green color tick mark. Okay. The the database got created, and to reflect this database name in this list, we need to refresh here once. Okay, besides schemas, you can see there is a refresh button here. Okay, so you need to click on this refresh. You can see I got my SQL6, right? We can expand this as we already discussed. We have 4 sections. Now let's create our first table. Okay, so this is how we will create the database. Every time you need to give database name uniquely. Suppose if I execute this line once again, it will throw me error stating you can't create database SQL6 database exist, because we have already the databases exist with the same name, right? We already have SQL6. I cannot create one more database with the same name. So every time we need to give the unique names for database, even for tables. Okay, and like this, if you get any error, you can able to see like this red color cross mark, and error message will be displayed like this very clearly, which we can understand, where we can understand what mistake we did. Okay. So this is how we will create the database. After creating the database, basically we need to activate the database. Okay. What is activating the database here in the sense? Here you can see I'm having so many databases, right? I know that in this class, I'm going to use this SQL 6 database, but definitely I need to make this, SQL also understand that we wanted to use this particular database, right? So to make SQL understand, we are going to use SQL 6 database. We need to activate that particular database. So that going forward, whatever queries we will execute, all the queries will be executed under that database only. Usually in real time, we will work with only one database. So definitely no need of activating databases there. But here in the practice session or in the learning process, we have so many databases, right? Definitely we need to activate the database here. Okay. So to activate the database also we have a syntax, and the syntax is use database name. Okay. Use database name. That is what I wrote. Use SQL 6. I'm just selecting, executing. You can see the SQL 6 database is got highlighted, right? It went into dark black color, bold characters, right? So going forward, whatever queries I'll execute, that queries will be executed under this database SQL 6. Okay. Until and unless I close this workbench, this database will be in activation. If I wanted to use any another database, for example, 7 o'clock I have another batch. In that batch, I'll use this SQL 7. So if I forget activating SQL 7 in that batch, and if I execute any query, that will be executed under SQL 6 only. So definitely I need to activate SQL 7 first, and then I need to start, writing any queries or executing any queries if I wanted to use SQL 7 database like that. Okay. Suppose if I close the workbench again, whenever we reopen the workbench, no database will be in activation. Suppose if I forget and if I execute any query also, it will throw me error stating currently no database is in activation, so that we can activate whatever database we want. Okay. Or else if I didn't close the workbench, but still if I wanted to use any another database, definitely we need to activate the database. If you forget activating, whatever currently database is in currently whatever is active, at that time we don't get any errors. Okay. Currently whatever database is active, under that database only the queries will be executed. So definitely we need to be careful here. Okay. I hope it is clear. Any doubts up to here?
No, Divya. Everything is fine. So, like before we need to run the queries, like how inserting the tables or anything. Before that, we need to activate the database, right?
Activate that. Yes, that's it. Okay.
And if we close our workbench and if you open like tomorrow, again we need to activate the database and we need to start working on it, right?
Correct. That's it.
Okay. Okay, Divya.
Okay, perfect. So we created our first database. We understood how to activate the database. Then now let's create our first table. Okay. So to create the table also, obviously we will have a syntax, and the syntax will be create table. First of all, we have so many commands in SQL. Okay. Next concept. After this, next concept will be SQL sublanguages. We have so many commands in SQL, and all the commands are divided into 5 types of sublanguages, which we will discuss detailedly in that particular class. But basically, create is also one of the command of SQL. So first, I'll write it clearly. Create is a command which is used to create any database object. Okay. What is database object? In the sense, it can be table, it can be view, it can be stored procedure. All of them we are we'll call them as database object. To create table also we will use create command. To create view also we will use create command. To create procedures also we will use create command only. For now we are creating table, so we will focus on create table syntax. In views class, in store procedures class, in that particular concepts we will see the syntaxes of how to create views and how to create procedures. Okay. So basically, create command is something which is used to create any database object. Okay. So now create table syntax. So what is create table syntax in the sense? Create table name we need to give, and after giving table name we need to, within the brackets we need to open and close the bracket. We need to open the brackets. We will technically call them as parentheses. Okay, within the brackets we need to give the column names. In Excel file we used employees table. In employees table we used 4 columns, right? Employee ID is 1 column, employee name 1 column, salary is 1 column, date of joining is 1 column. So how many columns we want? That many columns we need to write it inside the brackets after giving the table name. So I gave here column name 1, column name 2, column name 3, like that. How many columns we want? That many columns we need to define here. But after every column name, for every column name, we need to give the particular data type also. What is data type? I'll explain you in a while. Okay. But whenever we are creating the table, whenever we are defining column names, we need to define data type also. Okay. So this is the syntax for creating the table. So let's create, let's take an example. So I gave the table name as employees only. Create table employees. Within the brackets, I gave the 4 column names, that is employee ID, employee name, salary, date of joining. But here for every column name, I said we need to define data types, right? So before defining data types, first we will understand what is data type. Up to here, I explained yesterday, right? Now let's continue with the, remaining concepts. Now first let's understand about what is data type. Okay, so data type, definition of data type is nothing but it is used, data type will define what kind of value we can enter in any column. Okay. Data types will only decide what kind of values we can enter in any column. Let me explain you a little bit clearly. So in Excel file, okay, previously I just, enter table data here in Excel file, right? Suppose employees is our table. We used 4 columns: employee ID, employee name, salary, date of joining. Okay, see, this is salary column. Here in first row, I give salary as 75,000. Instead of giving 75,000, if I wrote anything wrong, if I wrote hello here, or instead of this particular date, if I randomly enter anything, it is just accept. It is not throwing me any error stating, okay, this is salary column, you need to enter numbers only, but you entered some textual data, right? It is not saying me like that. It is not throwing me any error stating this is salary column, this you need to enter numbers, but you entered textual data. That kind of errors it is not giving me. In this is also, this is date of joining, in the sense definitely we need to enter date only, but instead of date I randomly entered some data. It is just accepting, it is not throwing me any error, right? This is one of the biggest drawback of Excel file. Whatever data we enter, it will just accept, right? If we enter any wrong data, irrelevant data, it will just accept, it won't throw us any error. Okay, this is one of the biggest drawback of Excel file, and this drawback was overcome in databases by using the concept called as data types. Okay, data type is something, every column we will define some data types. How many data types are there, we will just see. But definitely what is happening here, for every column name we will define the data type, and according to that data type only we are allowed to enter the data here. Usually how many types of data types are there in the sense? Numeric data type, character or string data type, date time data type. Mostly we use these 3 data types in real time. Numeric data type is nothing but whenever on whatever column we wanted to enter numbers, on that column we need to define this numeric data type. If you wanted to enter any textual data, you need to define character or string data type. If you wanted to enter dates, you need to define this date time data type. Accordingly, it will accept the data. Suppose here for salary column, definitely I need to while creating the table itself, while defining salary column, I will define numeric data type here, so that if I enter any textual data, it will not accept. It will throw me error stating you already defined numeric data type, so you are allowed to enter only numbers here. Okay, while defining date of joining column, I will define date data type, so that I'm supposed to enter, I am allowed to enter only dates here. If I'm entering any other data, if it is numbers, if it is characters, it won't allow me, it will throw me error. Okay, like that. So data types is very powerful here. This data types only will decide what kind of values we can enter in any column. Accordingly, whatever data types we define for that particular column, that kind of values only we can enter in that particular column. Okay, clear?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. So in numeric data types also, we have two types. One is int, let me write it here. One is int and the second one is float. Okay. What is int? In the sense, int always allows only numbers. Let me show you one picture, just a second. So we have three types of data types, mainly numeric data type, character or string data type, date and time data type. So in numeric data type, again, we have two types, int and float. Int always only numbers. Okay, int allows only numbers. Whereas sometimes we will enter decimal values also, right? So if you wanted to use decimal values, we need to define float. Because float, I mean, whenever we define float, float will allow normal numbers, that is, it will allow 1, 2, 3 also, and it will allow decimal values also, like 1.2, 2.4, like that. Whereas if I am defining int, it will not allow decimal values. Okay. So int allows only numbers, whereas float allows numbers and decimals. Normal numbers also it will accept, decimal values also it will accept. So accordingly, definitely we will have some idea, right, what kind of data we are entering. So accordingly, we need to define the data type. Okay, for numbers, only numbers if you want, you need to define int. If you are expecting any decimal values, you can define float data type. Okay. Next, we have character or string data type. Here also we have two types of data types. One is var and the second one is var. Sorry, one is char and the second one is var. Okay, basically, what is the difference between char and varchar? I'll explain you maybe in the tomorrow's session, because we had left over with only 10 minutes. I don't think we will cover that concept here. But for now, I'll just show you how we will define these data types. But what is the difference between char and varchar? I'll explain you clearly by taking one example tomorrow. Okay. Basically, character data, we have two types. One is char and varchar. For now, just understand this much. And one more point, while defining character data, we will define size also. Okay. So what is this? We will see while creating the table. Okay. Next, we have date time data type. Here also we have two data types. One is date and the second one is date time. This is simple again. If you wanted to enter only dates, then you can use a date data type. And if you wanted to enter date, and time, if you wanted to enter time also along with the date, then you need to define date time data type. Okay. But for dates, definitely we need to, use one format. We have one format, only that format we need to follow here. Okay. So how to store the dates? In the sense, we have one format, and the format is, first we need to use years, then months, then dates. Only this format is acceptable. If I enter date first, if I enter like this, it won't accept. It will throw me error. Definitely, first I need to enter year, then month, then date. Okay. In MySQL, this is the format which we need to follow. And for date time also, we have a format, that is first year, then month, then date, next hour, minute, seconds. Okay, the same format we need to use. Okay, if you wanted to store time also along with the date, then you need to use date and date time data type. Okay, along with this three, we have one more data type, that is Boolean. Usually it will allow only two values, that is true and false. Okay, very rarely we will use this, but mostly first three data types only we will use in real time. Okay, I hope you got a little bit idea about data types now, right? So we will create our first table. I'm just copying it at the bottom here. Okay, so now let's create our first table, employees. Let's define the data types for them. Okay, in employee ID column, I wanted to enter numbers. So I'm giving int as a data type, right? Int is a numeric data type. If I wanted to enter numbers, I will use int data type. So I'm defining int data type for employee ID. Employee name, that is character data I wanted to I will enter here. So I'm using char. Why char? Why not varchar? What is the difference between char and varchar? We will discuss detailedly tomorrow. For now, I'm using char. Okay. But I said one more point here, that is in character data. I mean, whenever we are entering textual data, whenever we are using character data type, we will define size also. What is that in the sense? Suppose here for employee name column, I'm defining data type as char. I will define size in the sense, after defining char, I'll use brackets, and within the brackets, I need to define some size. I gave 10 as a size here. So what is this in the sense? What is the meaning of this size in the sense? Suppose example, employee name column is there. I define data type as char and I define size as 10. The size is nothing but I am reserving some memory here. Employee name column. Okay, I'm allocating some memory. I'm allocating in bytes of memory employee name column here. Size is nothing, but we are allocating some bytes of memory for this particular column. For employee name column, I am allocating 10 bytes of memory here. And each byte will store single character. Okay. That is nothing but in each byte, I can store only one single character. That is one byte equals to one character. Okay. So as I defined 10 bytes of memory for employee name column in the sense, I can enter up to 10 characters only in employee name column. That is up to 10 letter word only I can enter. If I enter 3 letter word, 4 letter word, up to 10, it will accept. If I enter some 12 letter word, it won't accept. It will throw me error. Because I allocated only 10 bytes of memory for this employee name column. So that I can enter in every row, I can enter up to 10 characters only in this particular column. Like that. Okay, how much we want, that much we can assign the memory here. Accordingly, we need to enter the data. Clear?
Yeah, Divya, but there is slight difference between char and varchar too in Oracle. So that's why I asked you, like, any much differences will be there for MySQL or Oracle.
No, both are same. Here also, for char and varchar, what is the difference? I'll explain you tomorrow.
Okay, and varchar 2 is there in Oracle, so
Here varchar 2 is not there, only varchar.
yeah, okay.
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 We will see that tomorrow, no problem. Okay, for now, I'm just trying to explain you. I mean, I wanted to create table today, so I'm not discussing detailedly about the difference between char and varchar. Okay, but
Okay.
the defining sizes will be same. Whatever data type it can be char or varchar. Here, defining sizes will be same. The size is nothing but we are allocating some memory here, and each byte will take one character. So as I defined size as 10, I am allowed to enter up to 10 characters in this employee name column. Okay. Next,
Okay.
salary column is there. For salary column, let me give float because we can decimal values also in salary column, right? And for data of joining column, I'm defining date as a data type. Okay. So that's it. This is how we will create the table. Let me just select.
I have one doubt, madam.
Yes, please.
Yeah, data is not meaning that it is only text. It is having in the form of images, audio, video is there, na, madam?
Yes.
To store particular that kind of data or any data type is
Yeah, we
available?
have blob that is used to store images.
Okay.
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 So now let me just create this. I'm executing. It got created. Okay, let's refresh. You can see now I can able to expand tables and I got my table name employees. And if I'm selecting here in the information section, it is showing me the column names and the data types. Okay, this is how we will create the table. Next,
Okay, Divya.
to enter the data inside the table, we will use insert command. Okay. Another command we have, which is insert. By using insert command, we will enter the data inside the table. First, before explaining that, let me show you the course content, okay? Which we will going to cover in this course, okay? So first, introduction to database and SQL, we are done today. Limitations of Excel file. This is a kind of theory part. For knowledge purpose, I included this concept here because we can store data inside Excel file also. Then why databases? In the sense we have some limitations or we have some problems in Excel file. What are all the limitations we have and how we overcome that limitations? I mean, by using which concept we overcome that limitation in database. We will discuss going forward. Next, creation of database and tables. We are done today. MySQL installation. Once we are done with demo classes, I'll show you this. Data types in SQL, we are done. Next, tomorrow, once I show you this, how to insert the data and how to display the data, next concept will be this, sub languages. We have some commands in SQL. All the commands are divided into 5 types of sub languages. Okay, that is DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. Under each sub-language, we have so many commands. We will discuss each and every command detailedly along with the examples. Okay, this many commands are there. All the commands are divided into 5 types of sub-languages here. Okay, one of the important topic which we will discuss detailedly. And then we have integrity constraints. We have so many constraints in SQL. Constraints is nothing but if we, we can
Rules.
define, yes, rules. Exactly. The constraint exact meaning is rule. So on the column level, we can define some constraints here so that accordingly, I mean, we are setting some rules so that whatever data we are entering in that column, it should, follow that particular rule. According to that constraint, according to that rule only, the data will be entered. Okay, which we will learn going forward detailing. So we have having so many constraints like not null constraint, unique constraint, primary key, foreign key, default constraint, check constraint. Like that, we have some constraints which we will discuss detailedly by solving the examples. Okay, up to here, this is the very basics of SQL. So I'll use some basic tables only to explain these concepts, like maybe orders table, customer table, students table, employees table, like that. Once we are done with this, I'll give you a real-time database. This is the specialty of my course. Here, we will learn everything by using a real-time database because definitely once we started working in any company, we will deal with a real-time databases where we will have huge volumes of data, right? So while learning also, if you use such database, it will be, we can get some hands-on experience in dealing with the databases, right? So here we have one movies database. Okay, I'll first explain you about that database and then I'll show you how to restore that database into your systems. And then going forward, all the concepts we will use this database only. Okay, the next concept will be operators and clauses. We have so many clauses in SQL like where clause, order by clause, distinct clause, limit clause, group by clause, having clause, like that. We have some clauses. Along with them, we have some operators like and or not, between operator, in operator, like operator. We will learn everything detailedly by solving some examples by using this movies database. Okay, and especially like operator is used to search for data patterns. Okay, if you wanted to display any data based on specific pattern, we will use this like operators. Okay. Next, we have functions. We have some inbuilt functions in SQL, and all the functions are divided into these types like numeric functions, character functions, date functions, aggregate functions. Under each type, we have so many functions. We will discuss deeply. Next, joins. Joins is very important concept. I can say it's a kind of backbone for complete SQL. Okay, in real time, we will use joins a lot. We have so many types of joins like inner join, left join, right join, self join, cross join, natural join. All joins we will learn very carefully. because this is very important. See, learning joins is easy only, but we need to have an idea that in which scenario, which type of join we need to use, right? So I'll discuss that use cases also. We will discuss everything detailedly by solving so many examples on by using movies database. And not only the examples which we solve in our class, only for this joins concept, as this is important, I'll give you some practice questions or assignment questions. I'll give you some time like 1 week or 10 days. You can solve those questions. Okay, it's not like, yeah, I mean, it's up to you. If you are interested, you can solve. No need of submitting back for me. But once you are ready, once maybe after 1 week or 10 days, I'll explain that solutions in the class, so that you can recheck by yourselves whether you can able to solve questions on joins or not. Okay, this process I'll follow only for joins concept because this is important. Next, regular expressions. This is also same like operator. Regular expressions is also used for pattern matching of the data. If you wanted to display data based on any particular pattern, then we will use regular expressions concept. In like operator, basically we have only two options, two ways. By using two ways, in two ways only we can find the patterns. But in regular expression, we have so many ways. Okay. Basically, we will call them as anchors in regular expressions. In like operator, we'll call them as wildcards. So we have so many anchors in regular expression. We will learn everything detailing. And this, and then group by clause, having clause, and using aggregate function in group by clause. Basically, these are clauses only. But to solve some good examples on group by clause and having clause, we need to understand joins. So that is the reason after joins, we will learn these concepts. Okay, next subqueries. Subquery is nothing but if you write one query inside another query, that is one select command inside another select command, then that is called as subqueries. We have different types of subqueries like correlated subquery, non-correlated subquery, single row subquery, multi-row subquery. We will discuss detailing. Okay. Next, normalization, denormalization, normal form. We have three normal forms. Basically, this concept is especially useful for data engineers. If anyone is planning for data engineer role, basically they are the people who will convert. Basically, we will get raw data from the clients, right? So we SQL developers or any other programming developers, they will work on already ready-made database. But data engineers are the persons who will convert raw data to the raw data which we will get from the client. Data engineers will convert that raw data into a perfect database. So that process is this one. Okay, the raw data which we will have, that is called as, that data will be basically in the form of denormalization. And once they convert it into a perfect database, the final product, final output, that will be in the form of normalization. So how we will basically convert raw data into a perfect database, that is how we will convert denormalized data into normalization. We will use normal forms concept. We have three normal forms. By using these three normal forms, we will convert denormalized data into normalized form. Okay, usually in any other institutes, if they include this concept, they will only explain the rules, they will explain it theoretically. But here I'll show you practically. I'll take one sales data, raw data, and I'll show you how we are going to convert this raw data into a perfect database by following this normal forms. Okay, we will see everything practically here. And then ER diagrams, views concept, very important. Index concept, this is also important. These are small concepts only, but very useful concepts. Next, temporary tables. We have a special use case of temporary tables. Suppose if you wanted to remove duplicate data at a time, then we will use temporary tables concept. Okay, so we will learn everything practically. Next, CTE, that is common table expression, very advanced concept. Next, store procedure. This is also advanced and very useful concept in real time. On daily basis, we will use procedures so that we can finish our tasks very faster. Okay, so we will learn procedures also. We have static, we can create procedures in a static way and in a dynamic way. We will learn everything practically. Next, window functions. We have 5 types of window functions like rank, dense rank, row number, lead, and lag. We will discuss everything practically. And at the end, we will solve some interview questions, frequently asked interview questions. We will discuss it. This is the course content. Starting from the scratch to the very advanced concepts, we covered everything here. We'll cover everything in 35 sessions. Okay. Any doubts on the course content?
No, Divya.
Okay. So already in the Zoom chat, our admin people, They kept the registration details. You can just check, or else as you attended the session, you will get a mail. Okay, go through the mail. There also you can find the registration details. If you are interested, you can get registered. Okay, and tomorrow is our last demo class. Tomorrow is also a demo. Attend that demo session also by using the same link. Okay, we will continue with this, insert command tomorrow's class. Okay. Any doubts, anyone?
Oh, Divya, like when you will be clubbing the two batches?
Uh, Maybe it will take some 2 to 3 days of time. I mean, once I need to complete only sub-languages concept. Whatever I'm explaining here, along with that, I completed sub-languages for them. Okay. Basically, maybe I didn't mention this yesterday, Satish. Is 8 p.m. IST timing okay for you? Satish?
Yeah, madam. Tell me, madam.
7 to 8 o'clock timing is that okay for you?
Yes, madam. I have one doubt, madam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you earlier told, data engineer, madam. For
Correct.
this knowledge is enough to make got job in data engineering domain, madam.
Yes, of course. Not completely. SQL is a must subject, but along with the SQL, you need to learn one more tool for data engineer. See, I'll explain detailedly about this going forward. For SQL developer, these concepts are enough. And if you wanted to, search, if you wanted to settle as data analyst along with SQL, you need to learn one visualization tool. If you wanted to settle as data engineer along with SQL, you need to learn one, some other tools. I'll explain you going forward. But SQL part is very must, is compulsory for all these job roles. And under SQL, these concepts are enough.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So I hope 7 to 8 timing is okay for you also, Satish, right? Basically, last week we started 7 o'clock batch. We got some students there, and this is kind of add-on batch, okay? Once I complete sub-languages concept, I will shift this batch to 7 o'clock. I will club both the batches. We have 2 students there, and whoever will get registered here will be, they will join that 7 o'clock batch, maybe from Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And Divya, no more 6 o'clock batches, right? After this.
no 6 o'clock. Yeah.
Why? Because like if continuous adding again, we join there and again we'll be getting break kind of thing.
No 6 o'clock. That is what. See, actually, I covered sub-languages concept for them.
Okay.
Here, whatever we covered today, after that, I need to explain insert command and select command. After that, the next topic is sub-languages only. Once we are done with this concept, we need 2 sessions actually. Once we're done with this concept, next I'll club both the batches and I'll start explaining integrity constraints.
Okay. And installation will be explained.
I'll show you on Monday.
Okay. Okay, Divya.
Okay. Tomorrow is our last demo. Basically, tomorrow is Friday, right? Saturday, Sunday, I won't take classes. So Monday directly, I'll club both the batches. If I didn't finish sub-languages tomorrow, no problem. I'll explain sub-languages on Monday at 7 o'clock only. They will listen once again, not a problem. It will be a kind of revision for them. And I'll show you installation process also on Monday itself. Basically, from Monday, I'll continue at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST. Only
Okay.
tomorrow, this timing will be there.
And Divya, like one concern, like you have any new batches from 8 to 9?
No, not currently. Actually, currently I'm taking Power BI classes at 8 o'clock. So for now, only 7 o'clock slot is there for SQL.
Okay. And to become data analyst, like as you said, like along with MySQL, Power BI, and any other tools we need to learn?
Tableau. Any one visualization tool. It can be Power BI, it can be Tableau. It's your wish.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Divya.
All right. Okay. Okay. Then let's meet in tomorrow's class. Okay. We are done
Okay.
with the time actually. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Divya. Thanks for your time. Bye.
Thank you.